The ultimatum arrives. The message that changed everything. Captain Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of the diplomatic vessel Unity's Hope, watching the stars through the massive viewport. She had been Earth's chief ambassador for 3 years, traveling between human colonies and establishing trade routes. Today felt different, though. The long-range sensors had detected something massive approaching Earth's solar system. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission on all frequencies," reported Lieutenant Tom Bradley from the communications station. His voice carried a tension that made everyone on the bridge look up from their duties. "It's coming from that fleet we detected. The signal is stronger than anything we've ever recorded." Sarah turned toward the main display screen as it flickered to life. What appeared before them made her breath catch in her throat. Dozens of alien ships hung in space like floating cities. Each vessel was easily 10 times larger than Earth's biggest warships. Their dark hulls reflected no light, making them appear like holes cut in the fabric of space itself. First contact with the hegemony. A figure materialized on the screen through advanced holographic projection. The being stood nearly 3 meters tall with 4 arms and skin that shifted colors like oil on water. Its eyes were large and completely black, showing no emotion as it began to speak in perfect English. "I am High Commander Vextheri of the Hegemony Alliance," the alien announced. Its voice carried the weight of absolute authority. "We represent 47 species across this galaxy. We have been observing your kind for the past 50 years. Sarah stepped forward, her diplomatic training taking over despite the shock. "I am Captain Sarah Chen, representing Earth and all human colonies. We welcome this first contact and hope for peaceful relations between our peoples." The alien's expression didn't change. "This is not a negotiation, human. This is a declaration. Your species has been evaluated and found lacking in the wisdom necessary for galactic citizenship. You wage war against your own kind. You destroy your planet's environment. You expand into space with weapons and aggressive intentions. The terrible choice." Around the bridge, Sarah's crew exchanged worried glances. Engineer Maria Santos quietly began recording everything, while pilot Jake Morrison checked their ship's defensive systems. They all sensed that this conversation would determine humanity's future. "Your species will be placed under hegemony protection," Vextheri continued without emotion. "You will surrender all weapons technology to us. Your military vessels will be dismantled. Your colonies will be governed by hegemony administrators who understand galactic law. In return, you will be fed, housed, and protected from the dangers of space." Sarah felt her hands clench into fists. "You're asking us to give up our freedom, to become prisoners in our own worlds." "We are offering you survival," the alien replied coldly. "Many species before you have made this choice. Those who accepted our protection now live in peace. Those who refused no longer exist." The bridge fell silent except for the soft hum of the ship's systems. Sarah looked at her crew and saw the same determination in their eyes that burned in her own heart. These were people who had chosen to explore space, to push humanity's boundaries, to seek out new worlds. They would never accept slavery disguised as protection. Earth's response. "We need time to consider your offer," Sarah said carefully, buying time for Earth's leaders to respond. "You have 48 hours, Vextheri stated. At the end of that time, your answer will be given to High Admiral Keth Moran, who commands our pacification fleet. If you choose unwisely, he will demonstrate why the hegemony has ruled this galaxy for 3,000 years." The transmission ended abruptly, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Sarah immediately activated the emergency quantum communication system that would send their recording to Earth faster than any normal transmission. Humanity united. Within hours, Sarah's message reached every human world, every space station, every ship traveling between the stars. The recording of the alien ultimatum played on screens across the solar system. In the halls of the United Earth Council, representatives from every nation and colony gathered for the most important meeting in human history. President Marcus Thompson, A man who had led Earth through the Great Unification 20 years earlier stood before the assembly. His weathered face showed the weight of the decision ahead. "Fellow humans," he began, his voice carrying across billions of screens throughout human space, "we face a choice that will define our species forever." The debate that followed was intense but brief. Every representative, from the mining colonies of the asteroid belt to the research stations orbiting Jupiter, spoke with one voice. Humanity had fought too hard for its freedom to surrender it now. Dr. Elena Vasquez, Earth's chief scientist, stood up during the session. "There are things the hegemony doesn't know about us," she said quietly. "Projects we've been working on, technologies we've developed in secret. We're not as helpless as they believe." Admiral Jackson Rivera, commander of Earth's space forces, nodded grimly. "Our fleets are hidden throughout the outer system. If they want to fight, we'll give them one they'll never forget." As the 48 hours ticked away, humanity prepared its answer. Every ship was placed on high alert. Every colony activated its defense systems. Every human in space knew that their response would echo through history. The hegemony expected submission. They were about to learn why humanity had never bowed to any force in the universe. The galaxy's greatest predators were about to discover that Earth's children had inherited their ancestors' fighting spirit. When the deadline arrived, Captain Sarah Chen stood ready to deliver humanity's response to the aliens who thought they could chain the stars themselves. The human decision. The council that changed history. The United Earth Council chamber buzzed with tension as representatives from every corner of human space gathered for humanity's most crucial decision. President Marcus Thompson stood at the central podium, his gray hair catching the light from the massive screens displaying the alien fleet positions. Around him, delegates from Mars, the lunar colonies, the asteroid mining stations, and the outer planet research facilities waited in absolute silence. "The 48-hour deadline ends in 6 hours, Thompson announced, his voice echoing through the chamber. "The hegemony expects our answer. They believe we will choose survival over freedom. They believe we will surrender our weapons and accept their protection like frightened children." Dr. Elena Vasquez rose from her seat in the science section. She was a small woman with fierce eyes who had spent the last 15 years developing humanity's most advanced technologies. "Mr. President," she said clearly, "there are capabilities the hegemony doesn't know we possess. For decades, we've been preparing for this exact scenario." The chamber stirred as delegates leaned forward. Many knew rumors of secret projects, but few understood their true scope. Dr. Vasquez activated a holographic display that showed star charts with mysterious installations scattered throughout the solar system. Humanity's hidden strength. Project Prometheus, Dr. Vasquez explained as the display zoomed in on asteroid belt installations. "We've been converting asteroids into kinetic weapons. Each one carries the force of a nuclear arsenal, but leaves no radiation. The hegemony scans show conventional mining operations. They see exactly what we want them to see." Admiral Jackson Rivera stood up from the military section. He was a tall man with scars from the colony wars, earned during humanity's expansion to the outer planets. "Our fleet isn't what they think either," he said with a grim smile. "Every cargo ship, every mining vessel, every research station has been equipped with hidden weapon systems. We learned from our own history that the best defense is one your enemy never sees coming." The Martian delegate, Governor Lisa Chen, spoke next. "Our terraforming technology can be weaponized. We can turn planets into weapons if necessary. The same systems that create atmosphere can destroy it." President Thompson nodded slowly. "The question isn't whether we can fight. The question is whether we should. The hegemony rules 47 species. Their fleets have conquered entire star systems. Are we prepared for the consequences of defiance?" The voice of humanity. Representative Anna Martinez from the Jupiter station stood up. She was young, barely 30, but her words carried the passion of humanity's next generation. "Mr. President, my grandmother fought in the water wars. My father died building the first colony on Europa. Every generation of humans has faced extinction and survived. We didn't crawl out of Earth's gravity, well, just to surrender our freedom to aliens who think they know better. The chamber erupted in agreement. Voices rose from every section as humanity's representatives spoke as one. The delegate from Titan spoke of explorers who died pushing into unknown space. The representative from the Belt mentioned miners who risked everything to fuel humanity's expansion. The lunar delegate talked about scientists who worked in dangerous conditions to advance human knowledge. Dr. James Park, Earth's chief psychologist, requested permission to speak. I studied the hegemony's message extensively, he said. Their language patterns suggest they've never encountered genuine resistance. Every species they've conquered submitted after seeing their fleet. They're not prepared for a species that chooses death over slavery. Engineer Maria Santos, joining by quantum link from her deep space station, added her voice. Their technology is impressive but predictable. They rely on size and intimidation. Human engineering has always focused on efficiency and creativity. We can match their power with ingenuity. The decision that echoed through space. President Thompson raised his hand for silence. The chamber fell quiet as he prepared to speak the words that would define humanity's future. The vote is before us, he announced. All in favor of accepting the hegemony's protection, surrender our weapons, and submit to their rule. Not a single hand rose. The silence was absolute. All in favor of rejection of the hegemony ultimatum and declaration of human independence. Every hand in the chamber shot up simultaneously. The vote was unanimous. Humanity had chosen freedom over safety, struggle over submission, honor over survival. We choose to remain free. Thompson activated the galaxy-wide communication system that would broadcast humanity's response to every corner of human space. His image appeared on screens throughout the solar system, from the ice mines of Europa to the research stations orbiting Neptune. Citizens of Earth and all human colonies, he began, his voice steady despite the magnitude of the moment. We have received the hegemony's ultimatum. They offer us protection in exchange for our freedom. They promise us safety if we surrender our weapons and accept their rule. He paused, letting his words reach every human ear in space. Our answer is simple. We choose to remain free. We choose to stand as equals in this galaxy, not as protected children. We choose to face whatever comes with weapons in our hands and determination in our hearts. The response was immediate and overwhelming. From every human world, every station, every ship came the same declaration. We choose to remain free. Preparing for war. Admiral Rivera immediately activated Protocol 7, the secret defense plan humanity had developed over decades. Throughout the solar system, hidden weapons systems came online. Cargo ships revealed missile bays. Mining stations deployed energy weapons. Research facilities activated defensive shields that had been disguised as atmospheric processors. Dr. Vasquez sent coded signals to her teams scattered across human space. Project Prometheus began final preparations. The asteroid weapons started their slow journey toward optimal positions. Scientists who had spent years developing peaceful technologies began converting their work into instruments of war. Captain Sarah Chen, still aboard the diplomatic vessel, received her new orders. She was no longer an ambassador. She was now humanity's voice of defiance, tasked with delivering their response directly to the hegemony fleet. The timer showed 2 hours until the deadline. In those 2 hours, humanity transformed from a peaceful spacefaring civilization into something the galaxy had never seen before. They became a species united in absolute determination to remain free. The hegemony expected submission. They were about to receive a declaration of war from a species that had never learned how to surrender. The next message sent into space would change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. As President Thompson prepared the final transmission to the alien fleet, he knew that humanity was about to show the universe what happened when you threatened Earth's children with chains.